What's the topic?
Oh, we were talking about Splatoon 2.
We were just basically humping the Switch, which is fine. It deserves some good humping.
Yeah.
But
Cool. We are here. We are live. We are ready to go with episode 3 of Trim the Fat Livestream. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 topics to talk about today. We kind of upped the production value of all our stuff, except for it's not working. So we'll wait for that to show that off. Today's first topic is a game called Installation 01 or Installation 1. It's a fan-made, it's a fan-made Halo game that is basically in production right now, staying within the usage rules, Microsoft usage rules.
So is this going to be a remaster sort of thing of like previous games to bring back like the nostalgic aspect to it, but bringing it into like modern graphics, modern matchmaking, and things like that? Is that what we're looking at here?
Looking over the game, it's basically trying to do a Fedora tip to old Halo 2 and 3 and a little bit of Combat Evolved. So they have this developing team, all making their own assets and stuff.
it seems like they're going through the process of remaking all the assets. And from a person who, obviously I didn't play Halo that much, I never really owned an Xbox, but these look exactly the same.
Yeah, I guess like if you're trying to remake the game, right? If you're trying to remake a part of the game in your own way, you're not going to remake the game and make everything look different, because then it's not the game. Yeah, so cool. That's something to keep on your radar. Next thing we've got on here is the University of California, Irvine, is actually going to start offering Overwatch scholarships. They had already done it for League. Yeah, they've already done it for League of Legends. This scholarship is actually pretty small. It's only $2,500 per year. But it's still cool to see that universities are finally opening up to other games now. It's putting it in a direction of like, okay, eSports is going to become a thing, and more universities are growing to that idea, growing to the PC cafes, growing to that other countries are doing it.
And just even though it's not like a lot of money, just the fact that they're doing it opens the door and helps, lead the way for other universities to start putting forth these same programs. And, if it may become competitive as far as, from university to university.
Esports has grown. We know it. We see it. We play in it. We observe it all the time. Esports is growing, and it's huge, right? So the universities first have to recognize that, and then they have to get enough analysis to see if it's like profitable for them. ASU's not going to be like, oh, well, some kids are playing fucking D&D and let's go ahead and give them a scholarship for it.
Okay.
So really the next topic is this game. It's being developed by previous developers of the BioShock series. But judging from the footage, it looks like it's pretty early in development. And you basically traverse your way through what, as far as I'm concerned, is a randomly generated kingdom. So you basically run through this kingdom with your magical powers, defeating these magical beasts, and there's supposed to be, the end game is supposed to be some prize or treasure in the middle of the kingdom.
Okay.
I don't know if it's different for every playthrough, but the way that I understand the game to be is just a randomly generated kingdom, and you're supposed to find your way to the center, or to this prize, the end game. And if you fail and you die, you restart, and it's a brand new kingdom.
So is it sort of like a dungeon crawler? Like, so when you say trying to get to the center, is this like
the center of a kingdom? Like imagine almost in Skyrim how you have kingdoms with walls around them.
Skyrim,
it's like
but
that.
Procedurally generated.
I mean, it's nothing like Skyrim, but just for the sake of explaining what a kingdom is.
Okay.
At least that's my understanding.
So is that like a mission that you would do? It would take you like an hour and then you do another one? Or is it...
Those are good questions.
The way the videos portrayed it to me is it looks like a procedural, or sorry, I don't know if it's a random level in Mirror's Edge. It's a Arabian Mirror's Edge in a way. It's very two-dimensional instead of three-dimensional, whereas Mirror's Edge, you would wall run and you would, climb up and you would scale things. There was a lot more to traverse.
Okay.
This game looks like there's still stuff to traverse. It's just not as in depth. And then the other thing that makes it kind of cool is that permadeath system. I don't know if there's like a carryover. Like maybe it's like, oh, you basically play as your character until you get to the center and then you start a new character, or rather it's like you have to beat the game. You have to get to the center on this one character, and if you die, you start from the beginning. The whole whip and sword thing looks really fun.
Yeah, that
like there's like a scene of him like actually whipping forward onto something and like pulling himself forward. It's fast.
You know what that reminds me of? There was a Toy Story game for PC where you could use Woody's the
thing on his back.
You could use it, and then the hook. There would be hooks on the level, and you would use that to like lasso around places and stuff.
This game called The Tomorrow Children. How long ago did this come out? 2016. It was actually released.
Yeah,
right?
it came out in September of 2016, and when I first saw it, I was really intrigued. It has a really interesting art style. It has a really interesting theme. Like basically, the point of the game, or the crux of the game, is you are this child in a USSR, Soviet Russia style camp, essentially. And you create this community by harvesting resources, leaving the town, getting the resources, coming back to the town. But at the end of the day, you are putting your resources into the collective, and you're able to build things for your town. Every once in a while, some crazy shit happens, and you get like attacked by a dinosaur, like missiles and stuff like that. I never played the game, but it was something that really caught my eye when it was, in the
developments.
Yeah,
it's got the super stylistic, game in their hands that, to me, is like something that would have grown maybe if it was like, because honestly, I saw it last year. And I was like, oh, this game looks really neat. This is like just a really cool idea. It's like got this like kind of creepy, like little children are being oppressed kind of idea. You got the dystopia feel.
Now, the unfortunate thing and why we're talking about it is because, it's come out that the servers for the game are going to be shut down in November, which means
for Japan, right?
Well, right. Well, they said Japan, but I'm just going to assume it's everywhere. And to me, that's extremely disappointing, because that means this game was only live for like a year and a few months. When I saw that, I just kind of blown away, because not only was I super interested in this game before it came out, but I didn't even realize it came out. And then now I'm reading that they're going to shut the servers down. I'm assuming that's because not very many people are playing it, and maybe it is just Japan. I hope it's just Japan, because this is one of those games where I would hope it comes to PC, but I really doubt that's going to happen. And this is one of those games where if I got a PS4, this would be the first thing I get. So if it does shut down, I'll be really disappointed, because I really want to see what's behind this game, why they made it, like what's behind this theme, like papers and privileges, like what, all of these weird, like just political undertones, and I want to know why.
I think this game would have been received a lot better and have been a lot more like, would have lasted longer, even in Japan, as if it had a PC release immediately. Honestly, this game could have just released on PC, and I bet you would have done way better. Papers, Please. What's the game? Limbo. This game reminds me of like those feely games, right?
And those have been largely, for the most part, successful on PC. When they come out on PC, they're received well critically, etc. But this game was like not even received.
And maybe this is like something you could talk about, like cross console or whatever.
And about exclusive titles.
Yeah, exclusive titles and how it damages the video game and the player base too. I'm referring to something else I read. Sony's saying that they don't want to do cross-console games because they have end-user agreements with their player base, and that doesn't pertain to Microsoft's player base, aka saying Microsoft players are vile scum, and they're gonna slander our 7-year-old player base or whatever, all the little kids that are playing on Sony games. That was their excuse. We need to protect the 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds that are playing on our console from all you nasty 30-year-old men playing on your Xboxes, which is stupid. That's a stupid.
When I was 9 playing video games on PC using voice chat with 20-year-old dudes who were also playing, I got
You got called a squeaker.
I got called a squeaker. They talk trash or whatever, but it's fine. It's a part of the experience. It's just it's
part of growing up.
It's a part of
regardless of that fact, Sony taking that position,
that position is the reason why they won't grow as much as PC has grown. Video gamers don't just play on one console. A majority, I think it's like over like 60% own more than one console. I don't know the actual number, but I can say that without a doubt, more than half of the player base, of your gamers, of the people you're trying to reach to, have more than one console. I know people that have bought games on all their different consoles. They've bought, let's just say they own Minecraft on PC and on Xbox, and they play it on both, or like that. I know people that do that.
So speaking of questionable game design decisions,
All of them.
All of the video game.
so Nintendo, instead of integrating their social network, if you want to call it that, their networking features for their online play, instead of integrating that within the Switch, they decided to make a smartphone app, which hasn't been released yet, but will be released alongside Splatoon 2. Now, the way I understand the app is going to work is each game, I don't know if this is only Nintendo games or if it's going to be all third-party games even, but at least for Splatoon 2, and I would imagine this would be extrapolated to all the other games, they're going to have services within the app that have to do with the specific game. So within this Nintendo Switch online app, on your phone, again, not on the Switch, is going to be a Splatnet 2 service that will allow you to communicate with the people you're playing with online. So you're going to have to plug in a headset into your phone and then have a splitter that plugs into the Switch that will then be controlled by the phone while you're using the Switch. So, I mean, to me, this sounds incredibly convoluted. I don't know why Nintendo chose to go this direction. When the president of Nintendo America was asked why, just why, right? Mm-hmm. Why is it set up this way? He said, well, everyone has a smartphone. Well, obviously, if you're playing a Nintendo game on the Switch, you have a Switch. So everyone who needs to do this already has what they need.
That seems like a PR dodge for something that the Switch is not capable of doing.
Yeah.
I honestly think there's something in the software, something in the netcode, something in the hardware that doesn't allow, I don't know, that. Maybe there's a reason why they use phones. What if Nintendo figures out that phones are far superior
to the Switch?
No, far superior in transferring, voice over IP.
I mean, frankly, I would say it's not acceptable for a serious online game to require you to have a smartphone. Not only that, but require you to have the smartphone on you. Meaning, if you're on a bus and you want to play Splatoon 2 with your friends and you want to chat with them, you're going to have to keep the phone in your fucking lap and hold the Switch in your hand and constantly move back and forth between each one. It's just
using your data, using up all your battery.
Yeah, that's another thing too. I have Verizon. I'm gonna be data capped in 3 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Splatoon 2 multiplayer demo is on July 15th, a week before the launch. Joel, this is your area of expertise.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the companion app and all that ridiculousness, there will be a demo for the game on July 15th. In classic Nintendo fashion, the demo is a specific time frame. So if you're not available in that time frame, you're not going to be able to play it. But I'm going to try to play it because I missed the last
take the day off
beta gameplay thing that they had. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for that just because the Splatoon, the first one was fun, and the second one looks more polished and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
I need to get a Switch now.
Yeah, I would be excited to play Splatoon 2.
Let's go. Let's start a competitive team.
All right.
Honestly, there's a competitive scene for this game.
There totally is.
This is Caleb.
Huh? Oh, are we on eSports now?
This is you.
I can't read from here, so
Oh,
I'm
okay.
blind.
I can't read at all.
Yeah.
So,
I literally have no idea where we're at.
Rift Rivals.
Rift Rivals. Okay. So, yeah. EU greater than NA.
What?
League of Legends, of course.
EU greater than NA?
That was a joke.
Okay.
That is the farthest thing from the truth right now. Yeah, so basically, NA was supposed to get stomped. They sent P1, who's the 8th or 9th place team, this split, and they were supposed to like not win a game. Fnatic was looking really good going into Rift Rivals. I mean, G2's no slouch. So yeah, I don't know what happened, to be honest. Like TSM just kind of crushed shit to like.
They turned it on, man.
And P1 actually did surprisingly well. So
my TSM fanboy's about to come out right now.
Yeah. So
okay,
so first thing I want to talk about P1 because they were utter trash. Like they lost to Team Liquid. They lost to pretty much everyone.
You lose Liquid
up until
a team that has good players too. You know,
relatively. Yeah.
They have decent, mechanically okay players. I mean, you have Mike Young, the homie.
Well, that's what I was getting into is the fact that now that Mike Young and Exculsivity have been on the team for a couple weeks, they actually look pretty good. With Shady and with Inori or Meteos, they looked really, really awful.
Who is Arrow, right?
Arrow's their 80
carry.
The MVP from last split.
Yeah.
So they have good players.
Yeah.
But Arrow's laning has been second to worst in the league all year.
Yeah.
Or all this split. So he has not been performing well in early games. And with the fact that they haven't really had a good jungle to offset that, and Ryu also has been doing really bad in the early portion of games.
Yeah.
The fact that they finally have a good jungler to come in and help them out, and he's actually adjusted to the team really well, has really boded well for them. And then, yeah, basically, I mean, TSM played really well. They've been on the upswing recently.
It's working. Okay, you can keep it going.
So I guess you could talk about your fanboy.
Okay, I can fanboy now. Okay, yeah. So this is TSM. TSM's history has always been on international events. We don't do well. We can go ahead and dominate the NA scene just fine. We pretty much always win unless CLG decides to do something or Cloud9 decides to do something. And then this is the first this is the season when you expect TSM to have a hard time, right? Doublelift leaves, Doublelift comes back. We're still trying to figure things out. Sven is having difficulty just kind of finding his pace on different junglers other than Lee Sin. There's just like a lot of things that you know that TSM is a good team, but the inconsistencies in everything makes it feel so weird. You say TSM's a good team, but then you see a lot of games, you're like, what are they doing? Like, I thought they were a good team. And then we come to this international event when you're like, well, we're going to get trashed, right? That's what I thought. I was like, I don't even need to really watch Rift Rivals at all. And then I was like, okay, we're winning games. We've only dropped one game. What the heck is going on?
Do you think that maybe the other teams, like the Koreans and the other regions, came in with that same mindset? Like, oh, these NA teams,
well, they only
9th seed in NA, like, we're going to destroy them. Do you think that they came in with that mindset and just underestimated their opponents?
No, I think that it was a combo of EU. I don't think they underestimated them, but I think it was more cockiness than underestimating. I think EU just thinks that their league's ahead of them. I think they perform to the best of their ability.
You're just kind of putting in other words what I just said. So,
but I don't think that. Okay, but I don't think they downplayed. Okay. I think they upplayed. I think they played hard, right? But they went into it with such confidence that when they got slapped, it really demoralized them, right? So when they lost to when an EU team, top 3 EU teams lose to P1, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Beautiful. Good job, boys. Everyone, thank Matthew for being our behind-the-scenes cameraman. Go ahead, step into the shot. Well, the clapping is probably really, really loud. But, yeah, so today is the first day that Matthew wasn't on the couch. Matthew has been behind the scenes controlling all the effects and stuff, controlling the scenes.
Fucking everything up.
Fucking everything up is more
Learning
and adjusting to it. Let us know. I'm going to actually include this in the YouTube video, so here we go, really quick. Let us know what you think about the new overlay, if there's anything we should add, anything we should change.
Please let us know if there's anything in the production value that you think can be improved upon, audio that can be improved upon. With that, I'm going to go ahead and say follow us on our Twitter, our Facebook, our WordPress, where we're releasing a lot of blog posts, and our YouTube, as well as here on Twitch. This video will be cut up into a bite size, or actually more like a plate size form factor for YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, hi, hello, thank you. Check us out on Twitch. If you're watching this on Twitch, check us out on YouTube for the condensed version. Other than that, thank you so much. I'm Jace.
I'm Joel.
I'm Caleb.
I'm Mark.
I'm Matthew.
And this was Trim the Fat.